What's going on, famo? Okay. What's going on, famo? What's going on, family? How's everybody doing today? It's been a one rush of a morning. That's what I can say. It's been a rush of a morning. Wild. What can I say? Guys are having a fantastic start to the day. Your day is going well. If you guys don't know already, it's your boy Truth, and yeah, welcome to your boy's show. Truth be told, truth be told, truth be told. All right, now we are on a series of the fruit of the spirit. I wanted to cover the fruit of the spirit, guys. I've done several videos. Sorry, just trying to, working out does that to you. Gets you tight and stuff in the neck area. Whew, hopefully I can get a hold of it. All right. Anyways, yeah. So how's everybody doing today? We are covering the fruit of the spirit. If you guys haven't already seen the other videos that I've covered on the fruit of the spirits that I have covered, check those out. If you guys could go ahead and smash that like button, it'd be great to help this video get across the algorithm. That'd be awesome. And yeah, feel free to subscribe as well. And I got more content on the way. Content and songs for all my music lovers out there. All right, so let's jump right into it, guys. I got on I feel like I'm a little behind today. Well, I don't feel like I am. I am behind today. Let's say that. Not that I feel like. Yeah, let's get into it. So today, we're going to be covering, I want to talk about today, the fruit of the spirit, gentleness. All right. The fruit of the spirit, gentleness. A very important topic that I feel of in today's world and society, modern days in society. This world, it lacks gentleness with one another. This world definitely lacks gentleness. And I just figured it'd be great to talk about it. That gentleness, it definitely should be practiced more. Gentleness should be practiced more with everybody. Everybody. Who else could agree that gentleness should be practiced more? That if gentleness was practiced more, this world would be a better place. Yeah, probably. Maybe not. Who knows, right? So, let's talk about gentleness. All right. So, according to the Bible, gentleness is also translated as meekness. Okay? Who knows what meekness means? Who knows what meekness means? I'll let you think about it to yourself a little bit. Or if you want, go ahead and type it out too. Write it out. All right. So once again, gentleness is also translated as meekness, right? Now, meekness, let me clarify something. Meekness does not mean weakness. Meekness does not mean weakness. People think that meekness means weakness. It does not. It doesn't. It doesn't. All right? In the Bible, and to God, gentleness, aka meekness, is considered a powerful and divinely controlled character trait, within yourself. which it is rooted in humility and submissive spirit, like a submissive spirit towards God, right? And that's what God looks for in a person. He looks for meekness. Everyone, who knows the verse where it says, "And the meek shall inherit the earth," where it says that in the Bible. The meek shall inherit the earth. That's God telling you what he's looking for in us. He's looking for the meek, not the prideful. The opposite of that would be prideful. And what happened with the last prideful person that we know about, and that tried to go up against God direct? El Diablo, the devil. What happened to him? Yeah, he got struck down with like lightning. He fell from heaven and he hit the earth like a pack of bricks, right? Hey, he brought it to himself, right? So we clearly see what happens when you choose to go up against God and choose to have pride instead of being meekful or having meekness. All right? So don't do that. Don't do that. All right? Now as far as meekness goes, it also involves showing like restraint, control. It shows it's a level of control. Patience, um, and empathy towards others. All right, and it is also exemplified by Jesus, like interactions, kind of like copying Jesus's character, interactions, and it's kind of like considered a key of the fruit of the spirit. It's definitely a key to the fruit of the spirit. You know, being meek. Being meekful. I keep saying meekful, even though I'm not sure it's a word, but I just like it. It sounds good. Meekness is obviously a word, but meekful, I'm not sure if it is. I just like how it sounds, so I'm just gonna say it. So we're just gonna roll with it. You know what I'm trying to say? So meekful um, is a part of the fruit of the spirit, and it is also a key of the fruit of the spirit. All right, it's a key. And basically, us practicing gentleness, it means being considerate. Basically, it means being considerate of others, others' feelings, speaking with a kind tone. Speaking with a kind tone. How many of us do that? And also seeking peace with yourself and with and one another, with others. How many of us do that? These are questions we need to ask ourselves. All right. Um, you know, like I said, practicing gentleness, showing kindness to one another. It's something that is highly overlooked. Because this world is so fixated on the negativities, the negatives of life. I'm trying to say is focus on all the things that's thrown in the news. Um, the things that's spoken about in the office or just all around the world, but they focus on the negativities and they don't give you enough time to really focus in on the positive things, right? And not only is it more like interesting to me to focus more on the positive, because I don't even watch the news anymore because of that. I'm trying to say, like, the news, all they project is negativity, and I'm like anti-negative. I ain't got time for it. It's like life's already short as it is. You only have one life to live. Do you really want to? Do you really want to give your life's focus and zoom in on all the negative things of life? Do you really want to do that? You gotta kind of like really ask yourself that question. You know. So with me, I like to focus on the positives, right? And I find it to be fun in a sense to like learn, when I come across certain things, learn, grow, things of that nature. And, um, you know, this world, they like, once again, they focus on the negatives. And I like to be the opposite of that. I like to focus on the positives. I get my thrill from that. I get my thrill from. Um, so, yeah. I just think it's highly overlooked. This world, we don't look at it enough, as it should be. And I think it's time that we change the narrative from focusing on the negatives and start focusing on the positives. Not only will I feel like it'll be fun for a lot of us to learn and grow, but it'll help shape our lives to be better anyways. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it'll shape your life to be better, the people around you, and life as a whole. All right. Now, let's talk about the core aspects. Now, so some of the core aspects of biblical, like what the Bible says about how, what gentleness is, right? Hold on, one sec. I got a comment here. It says, I also, no, I agree. Although we can't just focus on the positive, but we also have to be realistic too without it delaying any sort of positive mindset. For sure. No, definitely. I agree. I agree. Elisavana. I agree. Um, hold on. I'm trying to get a hold of this so it can be more stable. Stable. All right. I hope that's good enough. It keeps moving. All right. But anyways, if I can get it still, I'm gonna get it. Watch. Give me 2 seconds. I mean, it's not really the angle I want, but it's gonna have to. It's gonna do. All right. So, like, how I am. I'm a realist too. I am a realist. Like, I like to be like optimistic as possible on the things of the world. Try to focus in on the positives of the world, because obviously we can't just live in a world of negativity and then completely ignore it, act like it doesn't exist, things like that. So yeah, I mean, you can't completely ignore negativity, the negatives of the world. But a huge thing with that is, okay, even though I'd say you can't ignore it, I would also say don't focus in on it. There's a difference. Like, you can like tune in to like kind of like catch up on what's going on in the world, or things that are happening, so you can kind of like be on point, be on edge towards towards things in the world, whatever. But as far as giving it your complete focus, your complete all, I don't think that's the best move that any of us should make, because it's just like the news, just like watching the news. Like, how many of us have like parents or grandparents that literally sat in front of the TV watching the news 24/7? Like, you like my to give you an example, my grandparents, um, I don't think they watch the news anymore, but there was a time frame where anytime I would go to visit them, I'd always see the news station on, and it's like they'll wait, and then once the news station is over with, they'll wait till another news station comes on, and then they'll tune into that. I'm like, so basically, it takes so much of your time and your attention away from life. What I'm trying to say, when you're sitting there focusing on negativities. Same thing goes around with anything like that. Like, it's social media. If it's, they're throwing out negativity, anything negative, things of that nature. So, and anything that is negative, that I feel like takes away our focus from the world and from ourselves and from the people around us, things like that. It does just that. It takes away our focus from getting anything done. You know what I'm trying to say? But if you were to be focusing more so on the positive things, or on positive things, whether it's learning something, or, I mean, everything that's positive, I feel like, is a learning aspect. So, and if you're learning, you're growing, right? And if you're growing, you always have space to take that information and use it to grow your life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and that's something that's always a beautiful thing. Like, if you could take something and you take some kind of information, you're gonna take that information and acquire it for yourself and use it in ways where it can help, change your life or change someone else's life. You just never know. But, focusing on negative things all the time, like, that stuff can't do it for you. You'll never learn anything. You'll never be able to save someone else's life by learning only negative things. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's just something for us. And like I said, like, you can't completely ignore it. I would just say don't focus in on it. Don't focus in on it. All right. All right. So, but thank you for bringing that point up. Thank you for bringing that point up. I got slow connection on this end too, but it's coming together. All right, so let's continue here. So now let's talk about some core aspects once again, right? Some source that the Bible talks about. So some core aspects of gentleness that the Bible talks about, right? Let's talk about some of the core aspects. We have strength under control. All right. Um, and strength under control. Let me break that down a little bit. To be the word meekness, and it's equivalent with control. Why? Because it takes a strong person to be meekful. Once again, I'm going to use that word because I like the word. It takes a strong person to be meekful, to meekness. Why? Because you have discipline. You're not running amok. You're not reckless in your thinking. You're not just living life one day at a time and not having any boundaries or not having any control of yourself. A lot of people in this world, they don't have any control. That's why they can't be meek. It can't be meekful. They don't have that ability because they are reckless on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and it's like you kind of can't. I mean, you can blame a lot of people. You really can, but you can't blame a lot of people at the same time because a lot of people weren't raised a certain way. A lot of people were raised in survival mode where they have to fend for themselves in certain family and households. So when you're in that environment, you're not being taught to have discipline, have control like that. So when you grow up, you're going to be in the same mindset. You really think you not learning these things early is not going to affect you later on too? For example, imagine being raised, and I mean, I'm saying imagine, but I'm sure some of us have gone through this. Imagine being raised in a household of like a family household of people who do only like drugs, or yeah, do drugs, do all these substances, things like that, to always be high, things like that, right? Popping pills, things all like that. Now, being in that environment, not saying that all people, that you will be affected by it. I'm not saying that you will be affected by it. But there is a decent percentage that you will be affected by it. You might not partake in it too still, but because you were in such a dysfunctional household for so long, you're gonna probably take on some of those traits growing up. Well, that's why I said it's not a lot of people's fault. Because if you were born and raised in an environment, it kind of sucks, but that's just what it is. Right? So once again, having control is a part of meekness, right? Strength, having control, being strong, having control. Another one, let's speak about another one. Another core is rooted in humility. Humility. How many of us can say that we have humility? Maybe not a lot, because we're so stuck on caring about what the next person thinks. Oh, I care about what they think. I care about what they think. How about caring what God thinks and that's it? Food for thought. All right. Let's keep going. We all know that once again, meekness is a fruit of the spirit. Right? Meekness is a fruit of the spirit. Something, all the fruit of the spirits is what God he looks for in us. So he looks for meekness in us. All right. And the last thing I wanna touch on with this, the last core, is that it expresses it expresses itself in action. It expresses itself in action. That's one of the biggest things that I wanted to cover on, or at least that's one of the biggest things that comes from meekness, is that it expresses itself in action. It shows. You'll be able to see a person who is meekful because they'll show it in action. They'll be caring, gentle with you, kind with you. You know what I'm trying to say? It'll show in their actions. They will show it because it's just natural to them. But a person who's like the opposite of that, who's like nasty and always grumpy, guess what? Guess what they're gonna show you? The same exactly that, right? Why? Because however a person's heart is set up is exactly how they're gonna show it to you. People can try to fake being nice in the beginning as long as they want to, but it's only gonna last for so long until the real you comes out. You can't fake meekness the rest of your life. You can't hold that persona for the rest of your life. A lot of guys, I mean girls will do it too actually. It's called love bombing. A lot of guys will do that in the beginning phase of interacting with a girl. They will try to like love bomb you. They'll try to say all these sweet, nice things that you would want to hear, be nice to you in the beginning, you know. They'll even open the door for you in the beginning. Something that they probably had never done in their entire life. Like never. Unless they probably did the same tactic with another girl in the beginning and just, yeah. The process continues. And guys like that, once again, because they can't keep that persona forever, they sorry, I got this AC in my nose right now. They what was I getting at with that? So guys like that. Hold on one second. Let me get this AC off my nostrils. I got the AC blowing up my nostrils, so it's like really making my sinus kick in. All right. So guys like that, it completely threw me off too. Guys like that, yeah, they just pretend in the beginning, right? They pretend in the beginning. They say all these nice things to try to get you in the beginning. And they, once they do get you, you know, once mission accomplished, they flip script. They flip script. They change. It's not necessarily a change because they change to who they originally were. They go back to who. Guys like this, they do this on purpose, basically. Guys like this, they do it on purpose. They know what they're doing. They intentionally misguide and mislead people. It's not done by accident. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you know you're a bad person in real life, because everybody knows if they're, let me start like this. Let me start like this. Let me say it like this. Everybody knows if they are either closer to the good side or closer to the bad side. Let's be real. Everybody watching this right now, you know. You listening to this, you know if you're more so, cause I can't really say a good person or a bad person because no one's necessarily good, because we all have our, I want to say, somewhat bad side, and no one's necessarily bad because a lot of people who were bad in the world, they became good. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you can change. I'm not saying like, oh, because you're bad, you're gonna stay bad forever. I'm not gonna say that. That's not applicable either. But as of right now, currently, you know which side of the team you're playing for. You know if you're playing closer to the bad side or to the good side. Everybody knows. So let's not fool ourselves. Let's not fool nobody else. All right, we can't fool nobody. So if you're trying to get a person and you know you don't actually generally have a good heart for this person initially to get them, because you know what you're coming with. You already know. You yourself, you know if you're going to be real with them, you're going to be actually good with them. And why? Because you already know what kind of person you are. It starts with you as a person. Before you even meet the person, if you are a crappy person and you meet the person, you know what your intention is going to be. It's not going to be to treat them well. It's not going to be to bring them flowers and roses every other month or whatever, or take them out on dates, things like that. But if you are a you do have a good heart. If you are a good person, that then you meet this person. Um, you know what your intentions are going to be already. Why? Because you already came like that. You already know who you are as a person. So if you meet a person and you came with good intentions, do you really think you can change to be a bad person? No, it doesn't work that way, because it all starts and begins on who you were before you met that person. Why do you think that's exactly why narcissists, that's why they do what they do, because they use the strategy of, oh, let me pretend to be nice. You really think if a narcissistic person, if they came with their real with their real face, you really think they would be successful in getting the person? No, it wouldn't work that way. They already know it wouldn't work. That's why they use the nice card. That's why they pretend in the beginning. They put on a different mask, right? They got to pretend to be like, I was gonna say like us, but I'm not the kind of person to brag on myself. But like I said, like, for example, myself, if I were to meet someone, obviously I have good intentions already, so I know that I would do everything in my power to take care of them, make them smile. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, keep them happy. It's not that hard, honestly. It's honestly, people make it hard. Let me say that. I I think people make it. Not think. I know people make it hard to just have a decent life, have a chill life. And life, honestly, is not that hard. To be honest with you, life is actually really, really simple. It's people who make it difficult. You know what I'm trying to say? So, um, yeah, like, it's not that hard. Like, make sure you don't get the person mad. It's not that hard to don't get someone mad. You can, arguments can start, things like that. But if you yourself, you're coming with peace. You know you're not about that drama. You don't really care about that drama. You rather have peace. You rather just chill. You rather just have a chill life, stuff like that. Your life is going to be just as smooth. It's going to be smooth and easy. But obviously, if you know you come with drama, you come with all those issues, how is it gonna pan out? Just like that. You're gonna have drama, you're gonna have issues. It's all about what the person's coming with. No one's gonna change overnight. No one changes to something else. If you came with a certain mindset and certain intentions, that's who you are. That's what you're gonna be. And I think in situations like that, only God can change a person. Let me just say it like that. Only God can change a person. Like, we can't personally change a person. A lot of us think that we can change people. But if you haven't heard this before, uh, let me be the first to tell you that we can't change nobody. As much as we might want to, as much as we might want to play, um, superhero, of some sort to get them to be changed. To be honest, not only is it not that very likely, but it's not even that worth it. It's not. It's really not that worth it. If you got to be the one to do it, that worth it. Let God do it. They should already come to you, kind of ready. They should come without those issues and things of that nature. They should come um, ready. I'm trying to say, like, versus bringing you drama. You don't want that. You don't want. Trust me, you don't want that. Too many people try to fix a person, and not only do they not succeed, because like I said, you can't actually fix a person. They gotta want to be changed themselves, and God does that work, not us. God does that work within themselves. If the person is not willing to be changed, they won't be changed. So don't try to change nobody. All right. If you're watching this, you're listening to this, I want to make sure that I plant that seed in your head so you can remember, like, next week and the next week after, next week, for the rest of your life. Keep in mind, you can't change nobody. All right. Now, let's talk about how gentleness is expressed. Oh my gosh, this thing is messing with my nostrils. I almost want to like clear this thing out, but I don't want to do it for you guys. I'll do when I get off the live. All right. Let's talk about how gentleness is expressed. Okay. Now, gentleness, how is it expressed, right? It is expressed in being patient with yourself and with others, right? Ugh. And being patient with yourself and others. Speaking with kindness, right? Speaking with kindness, being considerate and empathetic with others, being a kind of like being a calm presence, right? A gentle person seeks peace. Always. Let me say that. A gentle person seeks peace. They don't like, once again, they don't like drama. I don't like drama. Alright? I'm gonna be real. I don't like drama. I don't like drama. If drama comes to me, then it's gonna be something. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I ain't no pushover either. I ain't no pushover. I ain't no carpet to be walked on. I'm also not that. Like I personally won't bring the drama. And you want to start it though? You want to start something? Won't be some. People think just because you're a godly person and you want to throw some bows, say listen. You know what I'm trying to say? Like in the Bible, there were plenty of warriors in the Bible. I'm sure as I said that you could think of a few right now. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there are a couple of characters in the Bible who asked God, "Hey, can I take this person out?" kind of thing, and God okayed it. God okayed it. You know what I'm trying to say? So if God was the same back then that He is today, you think He's gonna be like, no, completely don't like. Even though it's in the Bible to not like not intentionally, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't basically do it on purpose. Don't just randomly just going and taking people out. Like no, that's not how it works. Like God won't take pleasure in that, obviously, right? In a situation of self-defense, what do you think? How do you think God will handle that situation? How do you think He would feel towards that? He's gonna say, "Oh no, still don't take him out." If you came to me with issues, how else do you want that situation to turn out? How else would you want that to turn out? Are you gonna come to me with the problem? I'm sitting here chilling, minding my little pina colada or my juicy juice, whatever you want to call it. I'm chilling, and you coming with problems, running along, mosey along. Hey man, what do you want to do? Like you come to me with problems, and then you want me to have what's the word? Pity on you? You start with me, but you want me to have pity on you. Does that make any sense to you? No, it doesn't. Right. So if y'all stay in y'all lane, we stay in our lane. If everybody stays in their lane, it won't be no problems. Unfortunately, there are people out here that like to start trouble. They get themselves into trouble because they started it and they're no longer here. These things happen. If everybody live with peace and peace with one another, there won't be no problems. It's really that simple. If you look at the world around us, why is there so much corruption in the world? As human beings, we are the ultimate creation. There is no creation, obviously, other than the angels. But that God created, there's no other creation here on earth that has a say in the world. Everything else is beneath us. The animals below us, beneath us. We are the top as far as creation. We say what goes. We have, we are in charge in a sense. I'm trying to say, like, these, so for corruption to reign, it only comes from us. It can't come from animals. Animals can't reign over us. I mean, if you want to look at like movies like Planet of the Apes, where the animals turn around and do their thing, like, hey, look, listen, if you want to be in that kind of mindset, the fairy tale mindset, yeah, you could do that. But being realistic, we're the ones that start trouble. We're the ones that go cutting land in the woods somewhere, destroying agriculture, just to create businesses and things of that nature. We do that, not animals. So if you want to look at it logistically, from a logic point of view, we are the problems. So until we can get it right, that's just what it's going to be. Problems. All right? So that's what we got to get right. So that way the world can go back to its original state, function normally. That one dude that probably shouldn't put his name on my channel, because he's not even worthy of having his name on my channel. But I'll say it anyway. What's his name? Um, what's that one Rockefeller dude that really just turned things around? Was it John D. Rockefeller? That 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 Nickerdoodle? Yeah, him. John D. Rockefeller. What did he do? He basically tampered with everything. Um, Man, I don't, what do I even start? That's my question. Where do I even start? Um, Changing the medical fields, um, from people from actually getting healed, changing, getting rid of the normal. People think that the modern day, um, hospitality, things of that nature, that that's how it's that's that's like how it's always been, or that's how it should go, things like that. That's not even how it started. That's how a lot of people are so like manipulated. It originally started where basically people used herbs to heal people. They used linen sheets. How many people know about linen sheets? The linen sheets heals you from the inside out, heals your cells to regenerate, right? Linen sheets. They also used sunlight therapy. They put their patients next to the windows so that the sunlight can hit them, because they know that sunlight, it projects and gives you vitamin D. The sun's rays helps you to get better, right? They used to use copper, like copper cups or copper material, to heal their patients. These are all things that they used to use in the medical field that they're not using anymore. And why? Because John D. Rockefeller decided to be a nosy. And what is he? Well, I would say he's human, but who even knows if he was human at this point? So, considering that he was human being, what do we see? You see what I'm talking about? What do humans do? We just tamper with everything. We tamper with everything. He couldn't just leave things alone. Like, no one told you to butt your nose into different things to try to change the world in a bad way, because it wasn't. We all know it wasn't for a good way. He purposely did it for evil intention. And same as what you see what's going on today. It's in his teachings and everything, it still trickles down today. His ways still trickle down today. People in other countries butting their noses, America butting their noses in affairs of other countries, bullying the smaller countries, being bullies. The countries that probably want peace, they keep bullying them, try to take their land or take the properties, like things of that nature. It's just like human beings need to just chill out, because we're the problem, right? Let's continue with gentleness. Now, gentleness are acts of tenderness and love, okay? it kind of acts with tenderness and love, striving to be basically a calm presence to those around them, around us. Basically, like those around us can see that we're calm. Our presence is calm. People like being around you more versus not being around you. Because if you were snobby, people wouldn't want to be around you. Right? Ooh. Sorry, I got a little burp. Okay, got it. All right. And then the final point that I want to mention is that basically being meekful or having meekness is following after Jesus. Jesus consistently showed how gentle he was. For example, by not casting judgment on the woman who was caught in adultery, right? Instead of him, you know, shunning her or putting her down or anything like that, what did he do? He showed grace. He showed grace. He showed her grace. He said, "Ever else have not sinned, you may throw the first stone." But he knew that everyone sinned because no one was perfect but him. So, and no one could throw a stone. So they walked away. So in that moment, he showed grace. So it is important that we follow after that example with one another. If, for example, if you're driving, someone's driving to the side of you, they turn their turn signal on because they need to get in front of you. Question: what do a lot of us decide to do? What do a lot of us decide to do? And be honest. Instead of slowing down and letting them get in front of you, what do? You decide to speed up, right? You decide to speed up because you don't want them to get in front of you. And I never understood that. I never understood that mindset. Why people do that? I don't know. It's like it won't hurt you to let people get in front of you, but apparently, I guess it does. It hurts your emotions, your feelings, your pride, whatever you call it. Like people can't be nice. You just can't. It hurts to be nice. Okay, if it hurts to be nice, then just say that. Just say it. It'll be interesting to hear someone just say it. Yes, it hurts to be nice. Like, just be real. Just say it. I don't know. People were funny like that. They're weird like that, right? I don't know. Moving along. Schmosey along. All right. I do think that it is important, though. I think it is important that we ask ourselves, what is our level of gentleness? Like, what's our level of gentleness like? Like, what's our level? I want to say we all have a level of gentleness. We just don't know where it's at. Right? Because generally speaking, this plays a huge role in people that like to be around you. Your level of gentleness also determines your level of liking to be around you. A lot of people probably don't know that. I mean, I know a lot of people do know that, but there are some people, surprisingly or not, they don't know that. Why? I don't know. Beats me. You should know that. That you should know. I mean, it's kind of common knowledge, right? Like, if you're nasty to someone, if you're nasty and you're aggressive all the time, or you only think of yourself, do you really think people would like to be around you? Right? People will feel less inclined to want to be around you. They would like to be around you a lot less. if you come like that, if you only think about yourself, if you're only the taker and you're not the giver, you don't give energy, you don't give support, you don't, any kind of positive vibes and energy, like you're the negative Nancy all the time, but you always want to take too. People won't want to be around you. If no one else told you that, you heard it here first. People won't want to be around you. I don't make the rules. I'm just saying what it is. All right. Now, let's jump into some verses. Man, this thing's really messing with me. So some verses that I have, right? Some verses that I have. Let's get into some verses. I have that's okay. Yeah, some verses that I have that's talking about gentleness. I have a Philippians 4 verse 5. It says, "Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." Let your gentleness be evident. The Lord is near. Actually, guys, give me 1 second. I need to clear this out. I'm gonna step out for 2 seconds and clear this out, alright? This is like, ugh. Sorry about that. Yeah, this thing's really messing with my nostrils. Push this up because I already know it's gonna keep acting up. All right, so let's go with Ephesians 4, verse 2. And this says, "Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love." All right. I got a Proverbs. And this is actually one of my favorites, guys. This is one of my favorites. Proverbs away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. That's important because it lets us know that being gentle, having gentle answers versus, you know how people like respond like with anger, like, yeah, what is it to you? Like, don't answer a certain way, trigger people when you answer like angrily. You know what I'm trying to say? You're probably gonna start a fight there. You don't want to do all that. Let's continue. Matthew 11 verse 29 says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Verse 15 says, "But in your hearts revere Christ as Lord." Give me 1 second, guys. All right, my bad. I had to move the vehicle. Let's wrap this up, shall we? All right. Matthew 11 verse 29 says, "To take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Okay? Then I have a 1 Peter 3 verse 15, and this says, "But in your hearts," oh, I think actually I already said this, but I'm gonna say it again. Revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you the reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect. All right. I have another one. I have a 1 Timothy 6 verse 11, and this says, "But you, man of God, flee from all things, evil things, and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness." All right, these are all the things that God wants us to pursue. I have another one. Colossians 3 verse 12 says, "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience." All right. And then I have, last but not least, the last one. Titus chapter 3 verse 5 says, "He saved us, not because of the things we had done, but because of his mercy. He washed away our sins, giving us a new birth and new life through the Holy Spirit." All right. So, see, I told you it was like really messing with me. I couldn't even hold that one in that time. Excuse me, guys. God bless me. Yep, it's kicking in. It's cranking up a little bit. But it's a good thing we finished up, because now it's just starting. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. I got more content on the way. Check out the previous videos on the fruits of the Spirit if you haven't already. And I got more on the way. I'll actually touch on self-control. Self-control will be the topic for next week. I'll talk about self-control next week. The fruit of the Spirit, self-control. Yep, so that's about it. That's pretty much talking about gentleness. Yeah. So love you guys. Pretty much gonna end it there. Gotta go take care of my nostrils. I hate it when it kicks in. But you guys have a blessed day. Love you, and I will catch you on the next one. Holla at your baller.